Our focus today is to get out of, because yes, last week we talked about, again, company versus confidence, or confidence versus company, whichever. Now we're focusing on how to stop finding comfort in company and start finding comfort within ourselves. And what's the better way to do that than find out who we are and our true identity? I don't think we really realize, how how much influence people have on us, how much of others' opinions have on us that we don't really know who we are anymore because we're taking in so many things from the world instead of focusing in on our personal world. Have you thought about that? Actually, now I'm just saying that, I'm like thinking about it. So I'm like, damn, that shit do make sense. It really does. So when it comes to actually getting out of that comfort zone of company, you're going to feel empty at first. You're going to feel lost. You're going to feel like, fuck, what am I supposed to do? I don't have anyone here, because remember, you're unlearning something and it takes time to unlearn something. I think it takes like 2 weeks or something like that. Let me know if I'm right. If it's 2 weeks or however long it is to like learn something and then unlearn something to create a habit. That's what I'm talking about. Because now you have to make a habit of not depending on someone to make you feel good and to boost your own confidence. Now you have to start depending on you, and that's a new habit that you have to create for yourself. And you need to know that. And I always say you need to know because you do need to know. Besides those things. And when we're engulfed in a lot of things or a lot of situations, we feel empty inside when those are gone. But you have to know that a space has been cleared and you are in the in between right now. And that means that you're growing, and you should feel so happy and liberated about that. Your identity will start rising because you've made the room to hear your own voice. That's powerful, to hear your own voice. And like I just said earlier, we really don't realize how much of an influence people's expectations of us have on us. We really don't until those people leave and we're just sitting by ourselves and we're alone and we realize, fuck, who am I? Ooh, excuse me, who am I? Who am I besides this person telling me who I am? Have you ever thought about that? If you haven't, you need to. Now, remember, I'm not saying the things that we talk about is for everybody, right? Because some people may have it figured out already, and happy for them. And if they do have it figured out, and if you know somebody who haven't figured out, send them my podcast and then tell them to come talk to me so they can help me to figure it out while I help y'all figure it out. And we help each other figure it out because that's a big thing. And of course, while, we're in this transitional period, as we want to call it, or that in between period, we're going to feel uncomfortable. But guess what? In order for you to grow, you need to be uncomfortable. And that's how I want you guys to look at it. I don't know anyone or anything now. Let me be specific. Let me use myself. I'm going to just use myself as a personal example. I don't want to say the wrong thing. I know for me, in order for me to grow, I had to get out of my normal. I had to get out of what made me comfortable. So when I was working at my previous job, I started in Georgia. Okay. And then I was like, fuck, man, I'm going to bars every night. I'm getting drunk every night. I need to do something different for myself because I don't want to do this for my whole entire life. My life means something and I want to make sure that I'm making an impact in any way that I can. So I decided to move to Tampa all by myself, all alone with no one. I packed up my car and I drove to Tampa. And of course it was scary and I felt so fucking uncomfortable because how is it when you first leave your family and you don't have anyone? Now you're the only person you have, so you're learning things about yourself that you never knew in the comfort of others. Oh, shit. Oh, Lord. I would repeat it, but I don't remember what I said. I know it was good, though. But yeah, and then when I got to Tampa, I started flourishing because I didn't have my cushion under me. I didn't have that. I didn't have that. So I had no other choice but to flourish because all I had was me. And of course, my family was there for support, but they weren't actually there with me. And it makes a difference. It really does. And that's when I started getting promoted and everything started looking good in my life because I was doing shit that I had no clue what the fuck I was doing, but it was working in my favor. And I was doing the work to make sure it did work in my favor. And that's something that, we have to acknowledge for ourselves. It matters that it makes a difference. And I hope you guys know that. Being uncomfortable is the only way. Well, that's one of the ways that you're going to grow. I'm going to say it again. Being uncomfortable is the only way that one of the ways that you're going to grow. Now, listen, I want you to know that when I say be uncomfortable, it's not saying move out of a new state. That's for some people. But it could be as simple as trying something new, getting into a new field of work, going to school for something that you've been wanting to do, getting in an extracurricular activity, starting a business like I did, because that's fucking uncomfortable when you don't know what the fuck you're doing. Speaking of starting a business, a little intermission. I don't know if I told you guys, but I am a life coach. My life coach is for the Black LGBTQ community. And of course, everyone is welcome because we focus on really bettering ourselves to become the best version of you. It's authentically you coaching. And I consider my coaching or call my coaching is confidence coaching because we work on self-development, personal development, accountability, mindset. Those are a lot of good things that we use to become our most confident self. Now, right now, I am having a $50 coaching course. It's called Confidence Coaching. It's for $50. And what we're going to discuss is just all the things that you need to be confident. It's going to be about 30 minutes. Actually, we'll talk about the time. We'll talk about how long the time is, exactly what you need, but it's just a $50 special that we're running as of right now. So if anything that we have discussed for the past few weeks resonate with you, come talk to me. I would love to talk and see what we can do together to help you build your life to becoming the best version of yourselves. Because that's all we want for each other. That's it. Okay. Now, as we're talking about being uncomfortable, being the best version of ourselves, and building our identity, the first thing that we need to do is reclaiming ourselves. What you mean, Faith? What the fuck you talking about? When you say this, you are reclaiming that person you are behind closed doors when nobody is watching and nobody's there with you. That's the person you're reclaiming. Now, in this transition, you need to make sure that you're giving yourself grace. I'm going to say it again. In this transition, you need to make sure that you are giving yourself grace because you deserve it and you're going to need it during this time. These are tough topics that we're talking about, and your life is going to feel weird and you're going to feel like you're fucking up and doing things wrong, and that's okay. Grace is needed, and you need that. I know I said this a few weeks ago, and I'm going to say it again. You're extending grace to other people. You need to start doing that same thing for yourself. Extend the grace that you're extending to others to you, and give yourself even more than you're giving other people, because you deserve that and you're worthy of that. So during this period of figuring out your identity, give yourself grace. You're going to make mistakes. We're all going to make mistakes. We're all going to be like, fuck, who the fuck am I? That you're going to feel bad for not knowing who you are, and that's okay. We're learning. Give yourself grace. And I want you to know too, you're not broken. You're not lost. You're transitioning. And I want to say something about a transitional period, right? Because for me, working at a job for 4 years and having a routine for 4 fucking years, that's 365. Let me see how many days that is. For 4 years, so what? 365 times 4. So for 1,460 days, I was doing the same exact thing. And then when I lost my job, I was lost. I was so lost. I would say I felt broken, because for 4 years, that job was my identity. I cared about that job very much. I cared about those people very much. I gave my all to that job. And after I lost it, I didn't know who the fuck I was, what the fuck I was supposed to be doing. Like, it just made me feel lost. It really did, because after you break a routine that you've had for so many years, you don't know what to do. It's hard to transition because you don't know what to do. And now during this time, you have to work on who you are, what fills your cup, and what's going to, make an impact for you. Now, impact is a big thing for me. And being in HR, I felt that I was very impactful, and I loved it. I love talking to the people. I love people coming to me and asking me what I think they should do, or just, really being there and, letting me know about their kids, about what their family did. I really enjoyed that because it made people feel comfortable to be able to share that information with me. And I loved it, So being able to transition and know that that is my purpose and that's what I want to do, helping people and making an impact, is what faith is meant to do. That's me. Because I enjoy it and I don't have to really try. You know what I mean? And doing something for 4 straight years and now not doing that, I felt fucked up. I really did. I really did. And at the end of the day, your actions come with consequences, no matter if you make a mistake or not. And that's something that I had to realize too in this period, because that's another reason why I felt lost. Like, I got terminated for a specific reason, that I made a mistake. Right. And that this is just the consequence of my mistake, and it is what it is. I can't beat myself up about it because I did it at the end of the day. Also, on the bright side, though, everything happens for a reason. So I'm in this transitional period because it's something that's better for me in my life. Something that's going to fill my cup and make me feel good. I don't have to dread getting up in the fucking morning, going to work, doing some shit I don't want to do, talking to some people I don't want to fucking talk to, look at people I don't want to fucking look at. I'm just being honest. And some of us may be going through that same thing. So that's why I started a business. I started something that was specifically for me, for my people, and for everyone. Because when it comes to becoming the best version of ourselves, it doesn't just start with the Black LGBTQ community or start with us. It start whatever. It's not just with us. Everyone deals with this thing, no matter what your color, sexual orientation, no matter who you are, who you love. Those things don't matter. They don't matter, because all of us are working on becoming the best version of ourselves. And sometimes we don't know where the fuck to start. So that's why I wanted to create this space, this safe space, this affirming space for people, because I know what it's like having to figure some shit out, and I didn't have anyone to talk to, didn't know what the fuck to do. And I was like, fuck, I need to make sure that I create a space for people who feel like they were in my position, or feel like they're broken, feel like they're lost. But you have to know that you're letting go of weight that never belonged to you. Leave that shit where it's at. And that's what I want us to focus on, and that's what I want us to know, man. Now, we're talking about identity, and y'all know I love to give a dictionary definition, so here it is. This is the dictionary definition of what identity is, okay? Identity is the qualities, beliefs, values, and expression that make a person unique and recognizable to themselves and others. Listen, in other words, identity is who you are at your core. That's like I was saying, who you are when that door closed. Who are you? Who are you? Identity is who you are at your core, not who you're with, not what your job is, not what people expect you to be, but the true, real you. Who are you? That's what identity is. Now, when we're talking about getting our identity and finding our identity after we let those people go, the company versus confidence, after we let those people go, we have to reintroduce ourselves to us, not to anyone else, but you have to reintroduce yourself to you. I have to reintroduce myself to me. Now we're going to talk about how to do it, okay? Now, with the reintroduction, you want to make sure that you start with reflection. We want to reflect on a few things. Now, here are 4 questions you need to ask yourself when you're doing your reintroduction and your reflection. Listen here. What do I truly enjoy when no one else is watching? Simple as, maybe you like crime TV, but you don't want to watch crime TV when other people are around you because you don't want them to think you crazy. Ain't nothing wrong with it. Number 2, what parts of myself am I hiding and why? That's deep. What are things that you see about yourself that you don't want other people to see? And why don't you want them to see that? All right. Number 3, what have I always known about myself even before the world told me I was different? What is different about you that you know? Tell me. And number 4, who am I outside of my titles and roles? Let's break it down a little bit. Who are you besides being a mother or a father, besides being a sister or a brother, besides being a CEO of a company, if you are, besides being an employee at a company, besides being a therapist, besides being in the military, besides being a teacher? Who are you beside those things? If you're a director, who are you besides that? Next, this is what I want us to do. Now, first we did reflection. Okay. Well, we did reintroduction that includes reflection. The next thing I want you to do is experiment without judgment. What you mean, Faith? That's what I mean. Oh, what you mean, Faith? That's what I mean. Shit that you been wanting to do, and don't worry about being perfect at it. Okay, let me give a prime example. I did an experiment without judging myself by making focaccia bread for the first time. It didn't turn out exactly how I wanted to. But I didn't judge myself about it, and I didn't want to be perfect about it because it was my first time. Ease up on yourself, man. Give yourself grace. That's what you need to do. Give yourself grace. Like, experience things that you've been wanting to do. Zip lining, I don't know, going to a cooking class, going to an outing, speed dating, something that you've been wanting to do, that maybe traveling the country, going on a train, something adventurous that you've been wanting to do that you've been putting off because you want it to be perfect. Perfection is not always the way to go. I started making TikTok videos, I wanted them to be perfect. Then I had to be realistic. I was sitting in a corner right here that I made in our living room, and I woke up, did all my hygiene things and everything, and I put on a full outfit. Is that realistic? Every fucking day when I wake up, you ain't putting on no damn outfit. I mean, you may, I'm sorry. I'm not. Every time Faith wakes up, she's not putting on a full outfit. To me, that wasn't realistic. Like putting on a full outfit, trying to be perfect. And that's not what resonates with people. You see how I'm talking to you now in a t-shirt. People, we're all normal people. We're just trying to live our fucking lives and do things that are best for us and do things that fill our cup. That's all that we're trying to do. There's no sense in trying to be someone else for social media or build your identity to be somebody else that you're not because you want to look some type of way on social media. Ooh, too. I know that hit. Pop the balloon. I want us to know that, man. Like, I want you to do something, experience something without judging yourself and without trying to perfect it. I don't need you guys to perfect anything. Doing something experimental and not judging yourself and not perfecting it. Now you're actually meeting parts of yourself that you forgot existed. Maybe that adrenaline rush that you haven't had for a long time. But it felt so good because you weren't trying to, be perfect at anything. That I want us to regain in ourselves, regain those things that we're missing. All right. Now, after you reintroduce yourself with some reflection, we're experiment without judgment, not being perfect. Now, what we need to do is revisit and redefine our core beliefs. I'm going to say that one more time. Revisit and redefine our core beliefs. Now, you're like, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck you talking about? Because when we're talking about confidence grows from your beliefs that belongs to you, not someone who raised you and not someone who hurt you. Your beliefs solely come from you. When it comes to actually working within your identity, you have to know what your beliefs are without thinking about what was told to you in your childhood. Now, I was trying, when I was, writing down my notes and everything, I was actually trying to think about a belief that maybe my family told me or my parents or something told, but I couldn't really think about anything. Can't think of anything right now. So I want you guys to let me know in the comments, what were some core beliefs or beliefs that were taught to you or beliefs that's been carried down in your family. Let me know, because I'm sitting here thinking I can't think of anything. So while we're talking about making sure that you have beliefs and you're redefining your own beliefs, these are 4 questions that I want you to ask yourself. Questions help you redefine. Questions help you reflect. You all right? And plus, they're on the screen too, so you can see them. And if they're not on the screen, if you're listening and not watching, they'll be in the comments in the caption for you as well, so you guys can make sure y'all take those down. So this is the first. Oh, wait. I just had an epiphany and I need to go to Tiffany's. If you know, you know. If you don't, I'm sorry about that. You know what I just thought about? This just came up in my head really too. A belief also is not just what someone told you, but it's something that you've seen. If you see someone in your family or some friends or something get treated a certain type of way from when you were little and when you grow up, that's what you think you deserve. And that's a core belief of yours. You have to break that, because these are questions we have to ask ourselves for our own core beliefs, not based on what someone told us, not based on what we've seen, or not based on how we've been treated. Listen at this. Labels are for people, but they're not for you. Okay? And you have to know that if people can label you, they're putting you in a box that you don't belong here. And I literally just said that. When people feel like they can label you, they put you in a box that you no longer belong here. And we're not with being placed into boxes, are we? Not really. Boxes don't fit us. And when they feel like they can label you and put you in a box, they can control how they respond to you. And fuck that. Fuck that. Remember, don't let the world label you. And if you do get caught in that, that's okay. Give yourself grace, but know that you're more than just that label. You're more than just those people that we named and more. I mean, I know there's a lot of people. Those are just what came off the top of my head right now. I just want to make sure that, you guys know that, and you're actually, thinking about that. You're more than that, and you have to know that when someone tells you what you are, this is what they're usually saying. What makes them uncomfortable, what they don't understand, and what they wish you would tone down. Now, these are things about you. That's why people tell you what they are, because you're doing something that makes them uncomfortable, or you're a person that makes them uncomfortable. What they don't understand about you, and what they wish that you would tone down about yourself. Like I said, fuck that. Be who you are. Be who you are. And in this case, be who you are for your identity. Be who you are for your identity. Because that's what we're talking about today. The confidence, the identity behind your confidence. Because if you don't know who you are, how the fuck you going to be confident? You need to know who you are in order to be confident. Okay? Now, I want you to know too that, you are amazing just as you are. You don't need to fix yourself. You don't need to do anything for somebody else because they ask you to. You're great. You're amazing. And I love you. That's my heart beating for you. Now, remember, when you don't have anyone, you got you. And that's who you're depending on. We're no longer depending on anyone else. Depending on us is the best thing that we could do. Because at the end of the day, we're talking about company, we're talking about confidence, but also too, I want to put it in a different perspective. Sometimes when we depend on people, we're let down, and that makes us feel shit. It may feel like shit. That makes us feel angry when people let us down after we depended on them. Would you prefer to depend on yourself, and then when you let yourself down, you won't feel as bad because it's you? I would rather let myself down than let somebody else do it. And that's how I want you to think about it. Now, we are reclaiming our identity, and we're working on becoming the best version of ourselves. And that's what I want you, and that's what we're doing. Now, remember, this is your feel-good station, so get your ass in the bus. We're identifying ourselves today to become our most confident self and feel good about ourselves. Because once we know and realize who we are and who our identity is, we're going to feel so good. Ain't nobody going to be able to tell us shit. Ain't nobody going to be able to tell us nothing because we know who we are. We know exactly who we are. And that's what you call feeling good about yourself. So get your ass in the bus. This your feel-good station. You stopped here. Get in the bus and ride out on this identity. Okay? Now, also, too, want you guys to know that, hold up, my lips are chapped as fuck. Hold up, I'm putting on some chapstick. Give me a second. Okay. We talked about your confidence is yours to claim. You started your process of reintroducing yourself, and you're giving yourself a shit ton of grace. You're allowing yourself to experience and experiment without judgment. And you took the time to revisit and redefine your core values. You're not letting the world label you in this space and in this in between of you. Well, not even in between, in this transition of you knowing your identity. Now I know you're like, how does all of this shit go together when it comes to talking about our identity and the identity behind confidence? So let me tell you something. Confidence without identity is a fucking fraud. It's a facade. It's a costume. It is not real. It's not real at all. And like I said before, how are you expecting yourself to be confident if you don't even know who you are? If you're expecting yourself to be confident not knowing who you are, what are you basing your confidence off of? Company, things, places, people, influence on social media. That's what you're basing your confidence off. That's why we're focusing on identity, and that's why all of these things matter. And I want you to think about that. You have to think about that. Now, it might look good, it might feel good. That's just for a second. That look and that feel is going to go away once you close these fucking doors. Once you come to your house and you're behind closed doors, don't nobody know everything that goes on here and how you're really feeling. So if you're trying to be confident, I know who you are, you're putting up a facade. I'm sorry, you are. You need to know who you are. And if you don't know and if you need help with knowing who you are, remember, come talk to me. We have a special going on right now for our coaching courses. You could come talk. And even if we didn't have a special, you still come talk. DM me. I would love to talk to you guys about things that you may be dealing with and how we can figure out what the best thing is for you. Remember, this month we're focusing on confidence. That's what we're doing. We are focusing on confidence this whole entire month. Today is Monday the 23rd. So next week will be our last Monday talking about confidence. So I want you guys to make sure that you're grasping everything that we're talking about today. Now, this is how you build the identity behind confidence. We just talked about all the tools that you need. We talked about all the things that you need to be able to build that confidence within yourself. Because those things matter. Now, even though we're focusing on that, it's in different forms. Okay, so it's not just one way that you can build that confidence, build that identity behind confidence. There's multiple ways. But at the end of the day, they're all pouring into us to make us the better version of ourselves. Because that's what we're working on. And I do want to say, I am proud of you, right? And I'm proud of you for taking the steps on, actually doing the work and being brave enough to say, oh shit, I'm not confident, man. I need to work on that. So I'm proud of you for that. And you should be proud of yourself for that. And give yourself a pat on the back. Give yourself a hug. Reward yourself. It's like a reward. Reward yourself with anything, because you should be proud of the work that you're doing and proud of actually being brave and taking the first step of self-awareness and knowing that you need help with that. And I'm glad that I'm here to be your guide to help you do it. Okay. Now let me know too, would y'all want like a guide? I can make maybe like a workbook or something. I can make a workbook that's like, how to be your most confident selves, give you affirmations and stuff. So let me know in the comments if y'all would like that. Let me know. Let me know. Now, y'all know I love to give some statistics. So listen, people with strong identity, clarity, reports higher levels of self-esteem and long-term resilience. Think about that. Think about that. Okay? Look, you're working on it already. So now you're going to have high self-esteem and long-term resilience. You're welcome. So what time it is? Grow and glow challenge. Grow and glow challenge. Challenge. All right. So remember last week we did the I want you to spend 1 hour alone. That's all I wanted you to do. Tell me in the comments if you did it. If you did, you still got time. Okay? This week is something more personal, and it may take some time and it may take some reflection. I want you to write 10 things that describe who you are without mentioning your job, your relationship, or your past. I'm going to say it again. I want you to write 10 things that describe who you are without mentioning your job, your relationships, and your past. All right? And I want to know how it went for you. Now, while we've been talking about all of these things, I know we touched a lot of things. In the grand scheme and a synopsis of everything. I just want you guys to make sure that you know who you are, to make sure you can have unshakable confidence. You need to build that identity to have that confidence that you want and that you need. And stop depending on other people, other places, other things to be that for yourself. You can be that for you. Don't let anyone tell you who you are. Okay? That's all we have for today. It's Coach Faith with another week, another glow up. Thank you so much for letting me be your guide, and we will see you guys next week. All right, ciao.